Welcome back to the Athlete and Artist Show presented by Rumble and our now official sports betting partner, Overtime Markets. I am the artist, Kyle Fortch, alongside my co-host, the athlete, professional hockey player, Zach Boychuk, deep into the Penny Dell playoffs right now, heading to the finals next week. How you
Yeah,
been, buddy?
it's been good, man. Just right in the middle of the grind. Playoffs, got the playoff beard going, the playoff hair,
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, we had two good series that were a lot closer than 4-1 series, but nice to be back in the finals after a year of not making the playoffs.
Yeah, it's crazy. Winning the championship back to back, then not making it now straight back straight back to the finals. It's a
Yeah.
crazy program you guys got running over there.
Yeah, I think last year was kind of a wake-up call for everybody on the team, and this year we were kind of out for blood and had a really good start to the season and pushed all the way through and finished second in the league. So by playoffs, we had two like really tough matchups too, playing against Mannheim and Straubing, but now we got Bremerhaven in the finals.
And they're number one seed, hey?
Yeah, they beat us the last game of the season to take the number one seed, so we got to get them back.
It's gonna be quite the matchup then. Did you guys beat them at all elsewhere during the season or another time during the season or
Yeah, we had like a tournament against them at the beginning of the year. It was like preseason. We beat them there once, and then I think we beat them once in overtime during the season. They pounded us once 5-1, and then I think the other games were kind of close games. So I think it'll be the two top seeds, two top teams. It'll be a good series.
game seven, you think?
We'll see. I mean,
Hopefully not for
you
you
never
guys,
know.
but it sounds like it could be one of those.
Yeah, we're not definitely not going to take them lightly. That's for sure. I think
Yeah.
it's their first time ever in the finals.
Oh wow.
So we've had a few more finals than them, but they were the top team in the league this year. So it's going to be interesting.
That experience can go a long way though, especially when you get down to it, like deep into the playoffs. I mean, you've experienced it your entire life, so I mean, you know exactly how like, experience could play a factor in games like that, eh?
Yeah, there's a lot of nerves come playoff time. I think we saw that quite a bit in our first round. We lost our first game 7-1 against Mannheim, so it was like, oh man, the boys are nervous, not making passes, and um, you really got to get back to what you were doing during the regular season. So we finally found our game. We rattled off like 7 wins in a row, and still I feel like we weren't even playing our best hockey. And then the last few games we've been really good and found a way to close the series.
And you explained this to me the other day, which is something I didn't know. In the Dell, the playoff series, they go home away, rather than two home, two away.
I mean, Germany is like it's actually a bigger country than most people would think in Europe, but you can get around most places, within a 1 hour flight. We're lucky we fly most of the places, especially in the playoffs. We'll train once in a while, but there's some teams that bus like literally all over Germany. But so it's kind of a
Brutal.
disadvantage for them if they're busing, 6, 7 hours. I think there's some places that you have to go. It's 11 hours bus, and we're flying private, and it's an hour flight. So it's kind of an advantage for us, and we'll definitely take it. But yeah, the 1-1-1 series is pretty crazy. You're one game on the road, you have one game at home, and you're always traveling, living in the hotels and stuff. But yeah, it's different than NHL, the 2-2-1-1-1 series.
You guys are lucky. You guys got that LA money, that Laker Kings money, so you can fly. I mean, that's got to be tough on like the mental game too, like having to go back and forth like that. Or what's you tell me, is that what do you prefer? Do you prefer going one and one, or do you prefer like the NHL, the traditional style 2-2?
It depends how far you're going. Like, especially like if we were going like all the way down to, some of these smaller teams in South Germany, I think it would be a lot harder. You gotta, fly to a different place and bus and kind of go back and forth. Like it gets to be a grind, especially if you have to play 7 game series. And we're lucky the first 2 rounds we only played 5 game series, so it was kind of quick. But yeah, some of these other teams that have to, bus to the game the night before, stay in the hotel, not get a good sleep, and then, the next day they're pregame skating, they're in a place that they're not familiar, and whether they win or lose, they got to get on a 5, 6 hour bus minimum to get back home, and they're getting home at 5 or 6 a.m. and it's just so hard to recover. So for us, we either stay the night and get home the next day, or we're always getting a good rest. So it's definitely nice to play in Germany, where it's a smaller country, and
Yeah.
um, you're still able to get home and get a good rest. But yeah, it really depends on where you're playing and how big your team's budget is.
Do you guys, is it like a team plane or do you charter like a different plane every time?
No, we charter like a completely different plane. Like usually it's a small little like 32 seater that just barely fits everybody as and our staff and our social media people and stuff. So it's pretty tight in there, but it's pretty cool, flying into Mannheim and flying into some of these smaller cities that you just right after the game you go to the private jet and get back home to Berlin.
Your social media team is hilarious. Berlin,
Yeah,
they're
they're
ruthless.
pretty good with the TikToks and the trends and making some players just look absolutely hilarious, doing random things. But no, it's fun playing on one of the top teams in Europe and getting 16,000 fans every night and
Your crowds are
playing
crazy.
in. Yeah, it's insane. They're diehards. I mean, it's been an organization that's won, 9 championships in, I don't know, 30 years. So it's every 3 years you're expected to win a championship. So it's the pressure's on.
The social media team, just every time you guys beat another team, they're on them right away. It's like,
Yeah, I feel like they've seen that in the NHL where like teams are starting to like razz each other and make fun of each other, and now it's if you win a series, you have the bragging rights. You can make post whatever you want.
even just like watching your games online, like the crowd is insane. Like
Yeah,
they have different chants, and like it's so Euro, but it's crazy just to experience something different like that. It's compared to like the North American fans.
I think it's like the soccer tradition over here. Like it comes from, European football, and they
Yeah.
have all these chants and all these sayings, and everybody knows like what to say. And then when they come to hockey games, they just bring it the same way. They got a whole cheering section that's all in sync with drums, and they're chanting and jumping and standing pretty much the whole game. So it's a completely different vibe than North American style.
Man, that's intense, but it's gotta be cool to play in front of though. Like just
Yeah,
having the energy in the buildings, especially like at a home game in playoffs.
it gets you going, that's for sure. I mean, I played in the American League and played in some of these smaller organizations over the years where, there might be like 200 or 300 fans when you're playing in San Jose's AHL team and you're trying to get going. Whereas in Germany, literally every single rink is packed right to the top and great atmosphere. Some of the rinks are a little bit smaller, but they're completely packed and they got all their chance and they're loving every minute of it. So, for us to be one of the biggest, I think Germany this year was the highest attended hockey league in all of Europe. I think they just
Wow.
narrowly passed Switzerland and even Sweden, Finland. Like they get the most attendance um, throughout the year. So it's pretty cool to play in Germany.
How are Russia's crowds?
I'm not sure if Russia was included, but I think the top teams in Russia get really good crowds. There's a couple of rinks that are pretty big, especially in St. Petersburg and Moscow. But I don't think I don't think they quite charge as much for tickets, and I don't think some of their rinks get filled at all. Whereas Germany, still a business, and there's some massive rinks. Like Cologne's rink's a little bit bigger than ours. I think they had the highest attendance this year in Germany,
Right.
and then we're the second biggest. But yeah, we get really good crowds for Europe.
Yeah, that's unreal. That the energy makes everything for sure. Should we talk about the Rumble partnership a little bit? Brand new, a little bit of a new look to the show.
Yeah, pretty
Uh,
exciting. We actually signed a huge deal with them. We're pretty pumped to partner with Rumble.
yeah, so it's it'll be at least hopefully more than season four. I think we're aiming for 12 episodes for this season, this summer. But yeah, so we're gonna have an episode, a pre-recorded episode a week on there, and then we're also gonna be doing at least one stream per week is the plan, with overtime and especially with the NHL playoffs coming up. So it's kind of a great, perfect timing. It'll be kind of right as you get back from your playoffs, and then we go right into NHL playoffs. I think they'll probably have started, but yeah, so Rumble's gonna try to help us grow within their platform. And I mean, they're Canadian guys. We were shopping around a little bit trying to find the perfect partner, and it was actually like your idea to kind of reach out to them because Canadian guys. So I mean, we're both Canadian, obviously. Reached out to them, and they seemed really interested and wanted to be involved and help us. Whereas other people were like, "Yeah, we'll give you the platform, but we don't really, we're not going to do too much with it ourselves." So it seemed like the perfect partnership, and hopefully we're gonna go pretty far with them.
Yeah, they're definitely running a great company right now. I think they came into the market at like the perfect time to try and compete with YouTube, who's, you know, trying to silence a lot of people and kicking a lot of people off their platform. So, obviously YouTube kind of has the biggest share. A lot of people are watching it on their TVs, but if you want to see certain people and you want to see unfiltered content, you got to go to Rumble.
For sure.
So I've loved ever since I downloaded the app and been consuming some of the content on there. I usually stream it on my TV through Google Chrome and find ways to get it on the TV. I'm hoping eventually they get an app on all the smart TVs where it's just like YouTube. You can log in and pull up all the videos and all the live streams and everything. But I've been pretty excited about our partnership with Rumble.
Me too. And it's cool. It's cool to set apart from like the other live streamers too, because Rumble has obviously like the pre-recorded content, like the YouTube, and then also like the live streaming, like your Twitch and Kick and stuff like that. But Twitch and Kick don't really do too much with the pre-recorded podcasting, whereas Rumble, that's another thing that made it the perfect fit for us, I think, is we want to do both the live streaming and the pre-recorded. So we just meet in one place and all our content's in one place rather than having to push people, hey, like go see our live stream here. Oh, go see our pre-recorded, like our full episodes here. It's just all in one spot, and it'll be perfect, I think.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop, and I think all our accounts are verified now. So go follow us on Rumble, download Rumble, follow our athlete and artist page, follow your K Fortch page, Kyle Fortch, and my Zach Boychuk page. I think we'll have lots of different videos and lots of different content, especially during the summer when I'm not playing hockey as much. And yeah, there's going to be a lot to check out, and yeah, I think it's been great.
And they've got some great partnerships too. Like obviously the Barstool, they've got a huge deal with Barstool. They've got a huge deal with UFC Power Slap. Like, I think all the Power Slap events are streamed on Rumble. So I mean, it'll be cool if we get the chance to go out to Vegas for the NHL draft and awards this year. It's the same week as International Fight Week. It's a Power Slap event. Maybe we do something with Rumble, which would be really cool. End up gambling with Dana White at Red Rock or something like that, or maybe watching him because don't want to lose that kind of money, but but but
Yeah, well, you can't lose when you're gambling with Dana White. That's like a for sure win. Everybody wins when they go
true,
gamble with him.
true. Or he'll come back down and save our asses like he does with Steve all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be great. They're a great company. Like you said, a lot of they're not the type that's gonna try to filter people and censor people. Um, they've got a lot of great content, a lot of huge streamers too. So it's there's a lot of room for collaboration as well as we kind of get deeper into the space and into the platform and start getting to know different people, maybe have, cross promotions with different shows and stuff like that, have different guests from different places. So I think it'll be great and I'm excited for it too. It'll be
For
fun.
sure.
We're still gonna have
I'm
our pre-recorded stuff on YouTube and hopefully Twitter as well, but Rumble's gonna be the one place where you can see everything.
Yeah, and anytime we do any live streams, you'll get alerted right away, which is kind of nice. I think a lot of people like to consume the live content and see what we're up to, especially during the summer when we're back hanging out together. And
For sure.
um, what kind of stuff do you got going on in your world? Obviously, we've been talking a lot about my playoffs and my season. What have you been getting up to after your big fight a few months ago, and now back in dabbling with the TikTok and the music and some marketing with some crypto stuff. So what's new in your world?
Yeah, a lot on the go. Some big plans for music coming up. Hopefully getting back down to LA and Nashville soon. To finish up a project there. New song, maybe an EP coming, and then working on some TV stuff too. I've got two shows that I'll potentially be working with. Can't say too much about it yet, but if it works out, it could be the biggest show that's been on television. So hopefully in 2 years we'll be sitting at the Emmys or something, either watching or being nominated. But yeah, a lot of big projects. Back into the crypto game now that it's popping off again. 2 summers ago, I mean, you and I just were crushing crypto all summer. At wherever we went, just the charts on display everywhere, three phones type of thing. So crypto is going to be fun. We'll probably talk a bit about that as we get deeper into the show, or into the season. But yeah, lots on the go. Helping scouting out for the Melville Millionaires, the hockey team in the SJHL, helping them rebrand a little bit as well because their social media page was not good. um, so I was promising all the boys coming in that, hey, if you look up the Instagram, don't worry, we're changing it. So it's already started. I mean, all the management there is great. My buddy Scotty, the AGM, and then Doug Johnson, the GM, they're all great. They turned that team around in 1 year. Didn't make the playoffs for 10 years, or 9 years or something like that. And then their first season taking over the team. I mean, they're and made playoffs. So a lot of good stuff coming for sure.
Yeah, you're quite the jack of all trades. You got a little bit of everything on the go, and it's pretty cool to see. I mean, we've been friends for a long time, and I've been pretty pretty interesting to follow you and see what you're up to, and partner with you on this podcast. And it's uh, it's always a fun, interesting week to week, month to month, year to year. One time you're in Nashville, one time you're in LA, and then you're in back in Calgary, and then you're scouting for all these hockey teams. And no, it's pretty interesting partnership we have.
Yeah, man, it's I think we fit well together because we're two, like, we come from two different places in terms of like just how we operated. Like you found your success super young, like being in hockey and just like being a stud like from the beginning, going to the NHL, like being drafted at 18. Whereas I've being in the entertainment industry. Sometimes you don't get it right away. Sometimes you just got to chip away, but you'll never get there if you give up. So that's been kind of my attitude when it comes to entertainment, because music has always been my my main thing, my main passion, right? So just having the opportunity to learn from a bunch of different people um, in the industry, and then our partnership, like I said, it works really well because we have different outlooks on things, and sometimes we fight about shit and clash heads, but we always kind of find a middle ground where I think things work out for the best, which is good. Um, because I'm an opinionated person a lot of the time. So I mean, I need someone that's gonna smack me upside my head and be like, Kyle, shut the fuck up. This is stupid. But sometimes my dumbass ideas work too. So I mean, there's the best of both trades. Like sometimes I gotta listen to you, and maybe not go through with a crazy idea. But yeah, it's an interesting partnership for sure. And I think we have a lot of potential to grow it as a business. And obviously, regardless what happens with that, still be friends at the end of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It takes that crazy attitude for both of us to figure it out and work off each other. And um, it seems to be like when I'm away playing hockey, we still keep in touch. And then during the summer, we get back together and start up the podcast. So I think a lot of people are probably looking forward to hearing from us again and seeing what we're up to and seeing what we got cooking for the summer. I think multiple partnerships for us now, and yeah, it's just the things are looking up.
For sure. Speaking of the partnership, should we get into some UFC bets here real quick?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's do it. Let's get to some UFC 300 this weekend or tomorrow. It's Friday. UFC 300 Saturday night. Biggest event, a centennial event in a while. I mean, every fight can be a main event on either a fight night or a pay-per-view. So this segment presented by Overtime Markets. Our sponsor for this episode is Overtime Markets, the top Web3 sportsbook. Overtime is an industry-leading sports betting platform where users can immerse themselves in the thrilling world of sports. Leveraging the benefits of decentralization and blockchain technology, Overtime leads the charge in sports innovation, all while offering fans juicy money rewards on major sporting events. Overtime supports all the major leagues and utilizes advanced, smart contracts to ensure an elevated user experience. Discover the future of sports betting at overtimemarkets.xyz, where sports and blockchain converge. Let's look at some of these bets here.
Yeah, the main card of the UFC, and I'm loving the overtime markets just because they're crypto based, pretty much fully crypto, and you get to see a little bit of everything in sports. NHL, UFC, uh, probably get some golf picks in there. I think so we're also gonna get some basketball for playoffs going. I don't know too much about football, so that'll be like a few months away. But um, yeah, they've got a little bit of everything. It's pretty easy to connect your wallet and send some ETH and send some Arbitrum there. And yeah, it's an awesome platform.
Yeah, it's super easy to use too, and they're going to be doing some updates soon. Where I think so right now for stuff like UFC, you just bet the winner. But I think in one of their upcoming updates, there as they develop the platform a little bit, they're going to be adding different stuff like win by knockout, win by submission, different types of stipulations and stuff too. So it's a growing platform, and so far they're doing a great job, especially it being in the Web3 space and the crypto space. It's always fun to combine those two things, sports and crypto. So let's get to
Yeah,
some of these bets here. All right, first fight of the main card, Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. This is a tough fight. I mean, Bo Nickel, 5-0, kind of new to the UFC. But he's an absolute stud wrestler. So I mean, I would definitely pick Bo. Are we picking solos or are we just picking as a team?
it's up to you. I mean, if you want to go through like kind of the main guys, it's up to you. But I'm kind of sitting on the sidelines here listening to you because you're the fighter and I'm more the hockey player on the hockey pick.
I mean, let's use the I'm the fighter loosely. Dash one right now professionally. So
You'll win the next one.
more of the yeah, retired. I'm retired. More of the marketing guy. Spent too much time marketing the fights than training for them. Well, I'll let being the athlete to you there, Chucky. You got the rings. I'll be the guy in the background. I'll be the agent. When you sign your
So
next
what?
deal, bring me in.
So what's your number one bet for the whole card? Like not just the main fights, but throughout the whole night. If you were to put money on anybody, who's your guy or girl? We got a couple girls fighting too.
Yeah, an easy pick is Alex Pereira. he's an absolute stud. I mean Jamal Hill's no joke either, but I would pick Alex in that fight. But I think the fight I'm most excited for is Holloway versus Gaethje. I mean, both those guys are absolute psychos. They're two of the toughest guys you'll ever see in MMA. Both those guys, if there wasn't a ref in there, they would fight until one of them dies. Like, I'm not even joking. I've seen Justin Gaethje get stopped. He's only lost 4 times, but I've seen him get stopped, and he was half dead, and he stood up and asked the ref, "Hey, why'd you stop the fight?" Like, I was fine, and I was like, "No, you weren't." But yeah, I'll go Alex Pereira to win.
That's your lock of Saturday night.
The lock for the main event. Kind of go through a couple of the other ones as well if you want. Oh, should we do it one by one or should we do a parlay? That's a question. I forgot we could do the parlays on here.
The parlays are pretty good on Overtime Market. I mean, I think like two or three. They actually have like a parlay competition on their platform, don't they?
Think so. Is it for UFC?
I think they have it for everything as long as you're combining, 4, 5, 6 picks, like it's and you end up winning, you can get some pretty good crypto rewards for that.
Should we do the parlay then, like a 3 fight parlay and then put maybe two singles on the other two?
Yeah, that works.
All right, let's do it. So our first one is Pereira over Jamal Hill. What else do we want to add to this parlay? Zhang Wei Li, I mean, she's an absolute badass. I think she's gonna win this fight as well. Probably one of the best women's fighters in UFC history.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
And are we using USDC or is it Ethereum?
I believe it's USDC. Yeah. Couple other fights that we could add to it. So we've got Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje.
Is there any hockey games Saturday night? Can we throw the Penguins in there for the parlay? I think they're what 6 for 8 their last 8 games, so they're gonna make a run to get into the playoff.
The Penguins are playing the Bruins though tomorrow at 6.
Penguins and Bruins. So yeah, let's lock that in. Take
If
the
they
Penguins. They
add
need
it,
all the points they can get.
we do. If they
It's
yeah,
probably good odds too.
but we'll try to add that in after the pod. Back to UFC this weekend. I mean, I think I'm kind of feeling just pushing the Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje in this parlay, even though it's kind of that fight's kind of a crapshoot. I think there's either guy could win, like I said, but I think I got to go Gaethje. He's coming off an absolutely disgusting head kick win over Dustin Poirier. It's for the BMF belt too, baddest motherfucker in the UFC. I mean, I'm gonna lock in Justin Gaethje for myself if that's cool with you.
We got our 3 picks, and we can maybe add the Penguins. We'll see if they let us cross over.
Yeah, so for the parlay, we've got Pereira over Hill, we've got Zhang Wei Li, and we've got Gaethje over Holloway. And then, like you said, if we can add in the Penguins there for the parlay, the cross sport parlay, we'll do that.
Yeah, Sid better not mess it up for us. You can't bet against Sid, so they've been hot.
I'm gonna wait to punch this in, but yeah. So we got our overtime markets picks. Chucky, is there anything else you want to go over before we head out and I'll let you get to playoffs next week and resting? I'm sure you won't be resting too much this weekend, but a little bit of rest, a little bit of celebration before you get into finals.
Yeah, no, no, I'm just excited to get back into it. Obviously, our partnership with Rumble has been huge to get us back in the game and to help get our name out there, and they're definitely big time. So it's good to get back creating content again, get some more Instagram posts out and TikToks and reels and tweets, and obviously huge thanks to Overtime Markets to pay the bills and to keep things rolling for us, and no, I'm obviously this weekend looking forward to get some rest and kind of relax before the huge week starts next week on Wednesday. We got a huge series in the final of the German Stanley Cup. So yeah, it's
Oh,
exciting times.
what you already have 5 rings? You're looking for the thumb or what?
I right now I got 3, so I'm looking. Well, actually, I do have my 2 World Juniors. So yeah, that's 4. I need 5.
Need the 5. Need the thumb ring. I think you got a watch from Swiss too, right?
Yeah,
I think
the watch is nice too.
I'm excited to get moving here and go into the summer. And good luck to you. I'm sure we might take a week off next week because you might be traveling or whatever. We'll kind of base that on your schedule, but we wanted to get on here for UFC 300, do the intro for Rumble, and yeah, we'll see everybody soon.
Yeah, turn notifications on. I mean, we'll be doing some live streams randomly too, so it'll be pretty exciting in the next few weeks.
All right, we will see everybody soon.